Oh, so you keep High Tyler made over 500. We're going to talk now how he did it. He created this 550,000 in value in an 11 unit in just 7 months.
That's profit.
That's profit. So in this segment, we'll talk about you will find how to analyze, buy an apartment building without using your credit. You will also learn how to force appreciation of the rental property. All right, so let's get back into it. Now let's break down the deal. Now, this is a BRRRR deal. Is that correct, Tyler?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Okay, and so you bought the property, you renovated it, you increased the rent, and when you refinance, it will have a higher value, which we talked about. So let's start with the B, the buy. How did you find this deal, and why did you decide to buy it?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I knew this the owner of the property for about 10 years. We wholesaled him a bunch of properties. He was with a group that bought a bunch of houses. And he'd always talked about it, and I never knew exactly where it was or anything about it. And then he subsequently started lending money to me. Really good guy. He trusts me a lot, and I know that's why he came to me with this property. He came to me and said, "Hey, listen, I have this property. I don't really want to manage it anymore.
Okay.
You know, I know our rents are low. I don't want to go in there and renovate and do all this work that it takes to increase the value, but I still want the cash flow. And so if you want, I'll sell it to you. I'll hold the note. You know, we'll write a first mortgage on it and essentially do seller financing on it. And you can do whatever you want to do with it and increase the value, whatever you want to do. But there were two stipulations that we put in place with the contract. One of them was pretty normal. He said, listen, I don't want you to increase the value and then go and refinance it or go sell it, 2 years from now. So I said,
Yep.
well, I don't really plan on selling this place, and I really don't. As far as I can tell, I'll give it to my kid at some point.
Right.
So, I said, well, why don't we put a prepayment penalty on there? And so he suggested 10 years, and I said, okay, that's fine. I'll put a 10-year prepayment penalty on it. So technically, I can't get out of this mortgage for 10 years, which again, I'm perfectly fine with. The other stipulation was I have a 2014 Tesla Model S with a brown color that it's pretty rare, and so his wife loves the car.
Yeah.
So they said, as part of this deal, we want first right of refusal. When you go to sell the car, you got to sell it to us first if you want to sell it.
What?
So,
I
said, okay, that I know it's going to be in good hands. So yeah, we'll do that.
Oh my gosh! So you threw in the car, and this guy owner financed this for you?
Yep. Yeah. And again, he trusted me, and so the reason he trusted me because I'm a brutally honest person, and I've talked myself out of many deals just being honest. I lay the cards on the table. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. And so the reason he came to me, he's had brokers contact him, he's had buyers contact him about buying this property, and he came to me because he trusts me, and so that's how I got it.
Wow. So you did seller finances. For those who don't understand how does it work, why did a seller agree to do this? Well, first of all, seller finance is basically the owner would provide financing. Like, you don't have to go to the bank to get debt. The owner will provide the debt. And so they'll create a land contract, or they'll create a note, or they'll create a lease option agreement. And with that, that's how they create owner financing. And then you may have to bring some money down. On this deal, Tyler, did you have to bring any money down? Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this video. If you want to learn more about real estate investing, check out my free live podcast I do every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is text the word podcast to 206-803-8068. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, he wanted me to have some skin in the game, which I completely understood. So he asked me to put down $50,000.
$50,000 on a $950,000 acquisition.
So that's what?
That's less than 5%.
That's almost 5%. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a little bit over 5%.
Wow.
50,000.
So 50,000, and then he financed. So you basically financed 900,000.
Nice.
What interest rate were you at?
We did a 5.5 on a 30-year fixed, and so
Oh my God.
that was competitive at the time.
That's slam dunk right there. Yeah.
Man,
I
that's
mean, in today's interest rate, what, like 7%?
yeah. So that was great, man. Yeah. So you put 50,000 to secure the deal, but Tyler, for people who didn't have access to 50,000, What's another way you would have came up with the down payment, or what's some ideas that someone starting off that could get this kind of money to do a deal like this?
Yeah, absolutely. So, it would have been very easy to go to another investor and offer some equity in the deal, right? Ask them to put the 50,000 up and then ask them to pay the renovation cost, and you just give them some equity in the deal. And so that would have been a very straightforward and easy way to do it. And again, if I didn't have such a good relationship with him and he didn't want me to have money, that's probably what I would have done.
Gotcha. All right. So you would have went out and raised some capital.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and guys, listen, if you have a life insurance policy, that's one way. But if you had a life insurance part, you could acquire this 11-unit building and borrow money from your life insurance part or your 401k, or you could have got a cash advance on one of your credit cards, and with the cash flow, you could have paid it back. So there's just so many different ways you can do it. But typically, raising this kind of money, you go and raise it from different people. But unfortunately for you, you already had it because you already were flipping deals. So now let's talk about the first R. So now you're in the renovation. Tell me, how much did you spend and the work you did? And will you cut so we can show them some of these before and afters? So tell us, how much did you spend on this?
Yeah, so we're spending about $6,000 a unit. We're essentially. There was one unit that they had turned already. We didn't do the full renovation to it, but for the most part, the ones that we're renovating, we're putting new cabinets in, putting granite tops in, stainless appliances, swapping all the light fixtures, swapping all the plumbing fixtures, all the door hardware, the hinges, the knobs. Obviously, we're painting. Most of the hardwood floors are in pretty good shape, so we really haven't done much with those. The bottom, there's a unit in the basement that we put LVT in, which is vinyl plank.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we're not doing a ton of work to these. Again, they're in good shape. For the bathrooms, we're putting low flow shower heads in, and we're doing new tile floors. But anybody that's ever renovated a property in this era knows what a nightmare the demo on a bathroom like that can be. The walls are super thick. So we haven't gutted the bathrooms yet. But, we may do that in the future.
Well, tell me, what did you do here in this bathroom? Because, I mean, it definitely looks much cleaner. Like, what, you put a new toilet in? Did you keep the existing fixtures? What did you do to the tile?
Yeah, so we put new tile down on the floor.
Yep.
And we swapped out the light fixture. And like I said, we put in new shower head, just to try to save some money on water. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, I mean, we replaced the toilet in some of the units. I can't remember if we did on this one or not. Besides that, we put up those shower guards that kind of keep the water from splashing out. But besides that, we really didn't do much.
I mean, so you didn't have to do any major renovation here, right?
No, and again, we could have gutted it, and maybe got a little more rent out of it. But again, it's such the demo and re-drywall and everything would have just been a lot of work. So
and right here, you just took
didn't feel like we needed to.
And here you just put, like I said, the paneling floor in the living room. And then in the kitchen, did you replace the cabinets, or you just put new cabinet doors in?
Yeah, most of the cabinets are original, so they're the old metal style. And so we put new cabinets in. There was one unit where we didn't replace the cabinets, so we just put new hardware on the doors, and it looked fine, to be honest with you. But
Okay.
The ones that we're putting a little more money into were replacing the cabinets, putting granite tops in. This one had an island, and a lot of them don't. It's just kind of like almost like an efficiency look. So we bought a little kitchen cart that we put in the kitchen, kind of to separate visually and functionally the kitchen from the living room. So those are $150, give or take. It'd take nothing to put together. So that was one of the things we do in the kitchen, besides just cabinets, countertops, and appliances.
Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this video. If you want to learn more about real estate investing, check out my free live podcast I do every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. All you have to do is text the word podcast to 206-803-8068. Hope to see you there.
So after you renovated, you were able to increase the rent by how much again? That was $300-400?
Yeah, so they were about $650 to $750 before, and now they're the lowest is $900. Most of them are at about $1,050.
Did the tenants leave? Like, what did they complain about the higher rent? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's not part of the job that we love, right? Is raising the rent on people. So everybody.
I don't know about you, but I love raising rents. Okay. I love raising
So-
them till they don't want to pay it.
Yeah, so I would say 20%, 10 to 20% of the people moved out. So most people stayed because at the end of the day, there really aren't many options out there
Yeah.
for a better price. So,
In Hyde Park.
we're
Yeah.
at market
Price,
rent.
yeah, that's crazy.
So their options are pay the rent here or find somewhere else at the rent that they're going to pay anywhere here. So
It's the same.
so most of them stayed.
Man, this is amazing, man. Like you didn't have, like, your credit's fine, I know, but if you had bad credit, you still could do this deal. You didn't have to raise any money for the down payment.
Or you could. He could.
He could, but he didn't. But I mean, there's so many options here. He could have raised money. He didn't have to use his own credit. But tell us this: if you were going to refinance it, what would they say the value is of the? What would the value be now? Does that be like one? What is that?
So I mean, if you look at it from just an NOI standpoint, and do like a 6 cap, like I said, I mean you're 1.4, 1.5 million, somewhere in that.
1.4,
ballpark.
1.5. So, and then literally, but because you already got a deal, you can do a loan of 70%, 60% loan to value,
Or 75%.
75, and that would cash him out.
Yeah, I mean 1.5 at 75%.
What is that?
Yeah, he will get 1.1 million.
So not only does he pay the guy off, he could put 150 grand in his pocket. I would say
Yeah,
that's
I may
a home
do
run.
a credit line at some point, just to have some capital to deploy somewhere else. But that's not really in the plans. Again,
Because
I told this guy this is what I want to do. I want to make sure that he's happy, and before I do that, I'm going to go to him
Yeah.
and say, hey, listen, here's what I'm thinking. Are you okay with it?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Man, but that's what I love about Apartments Hotel. Like their value is really dependent on the income. Like in apartments, I mean, like houses, it's really based on the neighborhood. Like you don't have any control over that. And then the thing with Airbnb, some banks, like as much as I like it, I think the cash flow, but if the bank knows that you're doing an Airbnb, they don't want to lend to you. So that's one of the challenges that some people will go through. But like again, you can create the value because it's dependent on the income. So what's next for you, brother? What are you going to do next? Now you got this under your belt, 7 months in. What's next?
Yeah, I mean, I need to find another multifamily. Something 15 to 40 units. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I need. Like I said, I have everything in place. If I can find something between Northern Kentucky and Dayton, I'm vertically integrated, so I'm ready to go on the next one. I have private lenders lined up, and the only bottleneck is finding a good deal, which isn't the easiest thing to do in the world right now. But yeah, that's the next step. Find another one.
That's awesome, man. Hey, man, thanks so much for being with us, Sharon. Congratulations on this awesome deal. But if you don't mind, stay with us until the last segment so you can help answer some of these questions for our audience. You'll do that for us, brother?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything
Hey,
else?
but, hey, first of all, I'm really proud of you. It's like Thanksgiving dinner, when you're growing up, when you're younger, you got to sit at the kids' table. Now you get to sit at the big boys' table, brother. So congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. You and Nate have helped me a lot over the years for sure. So I appreciate you.
No worries. Hey, guys, look, man, if you found this information valuable, hey, man, like this video, subscribe, comment, burr if you're on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks so much for joining us, but, do all the YouTube and Instagram, thumbs up, hearts. Send me some hearts if you're feeling this. And hit the likes. And, if this is good information, man, tell your friends all about apartment investing secrets. All right. Hey, do you want to invest in your own or own apartment buildings? Text the word MFH, MOFO. MOFO, you want some multifamilies? 206-803-8068. 206-803-8068, and where you can learn how to invest or be a passive investor in apartments.